All right, my name is Riley Averett. I decided to interview a provider from Logan, Utah to give us his opinion on vaccines and give us his knowledge, his expertise on it. So this is Ian Troesoyer, a doctorate of nurse practitioning from Logan, Utah at the Cache Valley Community Health Center. So here's the interview. So thank you, Ian, to agreeing to do this interview. So enjoy. So first question of the interview, what is your name?
Ian Troesoyer.
What is your occupation / title?
I'm a family nurse practitioner. I have a doctor of nursing practice.
Do you have any kids?
I do. Yep, I have 2 boys.
Did you vaccinate your children?
Mm-hmm.
And why did you?
No one wants those diseases that the vaccines protect against. I think it's good for public health and it's also good for the individual. It's a nice win-win.
Do you recommend all new parents to vaccinate their children?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, unless the kid has some specific contraindication to a vaccination, I think it's a good bet. I think the current vaccine recommendations that the CDC and Advisory Council on Immunization Practices puts out is a very good mix of safety and effectiveness.
Final question, do vaccines cause autism?
There is no evidence that they do. I think the reason that's kind of thought to be like, oh yeah, maybe there's an association there, is this now thoroughly debunked study where this guy was saying, oh, there was an association between the measles vaccine and the development of autism. Really, it was bad science. The journal that published it withdrew it. That guy lost his medical license, and I think it may have been primarily over that, but there may have been other issues as well. I mean, medical licenses are not revoked lightly. You gotta really mess up in general to have your license revoked, and this guy had his license revoked. However, he's still publishing books and appearing on documentaries, talking about this association. And as a parent, yeah, I mean, it's not fun to watch your kid get poked with needles. Thank God, my kids are healthy. But as a parent, I think if something bad happens to your kid, like, a diagnosis of autism, you're looking for something to blame. And autism is a weird, kind of a weird illness that seems to be maybe a genetic component, but there's also certainly, not every family that has an autistic child has like an obvious representative with autism in it earlier than that. And so it's like, well, this is not from our family, it's from somewhere else. And we don't fully, at least to my understanding, we don't fully understand it yet. And typically the first signs of autism are noticeable around age 1, and that's also when you get the first dose of the measles vaccine. And so, to have this bunk study out there and then to feel the pain and anguish that comes with having a child diagnosed with a chronic developmental disease, and to wonder where the heck did this come from? No one in my family has this. It's pretty easy to try to look for something that could be wrong, and so I think that's where like people like Jenny McCarthy come in, but no, it doesn't.
All right, well, that's all the questions I had for you. So thank you so much for agreeing to this.
You're welcome.